All right. So this is the second part on how I react to the market once price gets into my point of interest. Okay. So just as I shared in the previous video or in the first part of this video, we once price gets into our point of interest, we look out for two reversal patterns. Okay. And the first reversal patterns that I look out for is the double top pattern. Okay, and while the second reversal pattern is something that looks like the quasimodo structure that has to do with the break of structure and then the retest of the supply or the order block or the base area that led to the break of this structure. Okay, so please, if you want to know more about this, you can check out the first video I posted on how I react to the market once price gets into my point of interest. Now, this point of interest, like I've shared with you guys before, now can be gotten on the lower time frame, the 15 minutes time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hours time frame, and even the weekly time frame. Okay, even the daily time frame. Okay, so no matter where I find this point of interest from, what I do is once the market resumes, I normally watch the market on the 4 hours time frame and the 1 hour time frame. So what I do is that I wait for price to appreciate into my point of interest. Once price gets into my point of interest, then go down to the 15 minutes time frame. Okay, and that is actually where I wait for the double top to form before I take my trade. Now, so this is just part of some of the trades that we've taken over the past couple of weeks. So let me just let me show you how I react to the market once price gets into these areas. Let's start with this first area. Okay, so at this point you can see that price got into our point of interest. So what do we do once price gets in the point of interest? We go down to the 15 minutes time frame and then we look out for the double top pattern. Okay, now, okay, so okay, at this point, price got into this point of interest, okay, and then give us something that looks like a top around this area, okay, dropped off, went back up, and then retested that top, and then dropped a little bit before violating this pattern, and then went up. Now, I want to make something clear, okay. You see, yes, come. Let me get my let me get this part tool. Okay, so you see this is actually what this is what a valid double top should look like. Okay, now a valid double top should have two tops. Okay, now these tops must be characterized. Let me get this ellipse. Okay, now the tops must be characterized by weak rejections. At this top we must have like, okay, yeah, I'm coming a little bit. Okay, so at these tops, we must have weak rejections. If there are no weak rejections on this top, please skip the pattern or skip the trade. These patterns play out every day in the market. So you mustn't trade every day. All you have to do is to be patient and find the right setup before taking the trade. I don't really mind taking just one trade in a week, but as long as the trade will come out positive, okay. So even if I lose the trade, no issue. As long as I took the trade based on my conditions for trade, it was what was actually met before I took the trade. Okay, so there is no need rushing to take trades. Okay, so if you look at this double top that was formed earlier on the 15 minutes time frame, you will notice that that the first top we had no single weak rejection. Price just shot up into the zone and then left the area. Now the second leg actually had weak rejections, but the first leg does not have any weak rejections. So therefore, this is not a valid double top. So even if this had played out very well, it is not a top. You would have normally, if you want to keep to your trading rules, or to our trading rules, you would have ignored this trade. Even if even if it's played the way it should, you shouldn't have taken this trade. Okay. So but sometimes we decide to take some level of risk. So if we had taken this trade, this is actually where I would have, immediately I see this as this candlestick weakening out at this area and then ended as an indecision candle, I would have taken my first trade at this area. Okay, that is if I wanted to take this trade, and then my stop loss would just be slightly above this area, which is somewhere around 4 pips. Okay, and then my take profit should be somewhere around this base area. Uh, or so, or most likely the next psychological price level. Okay, so if we are taking this trade, you see, would have been in profit for some for some few pips, and then price, took us out. So because we did not look out for the right setup to take, okay, to take this trade. Now, as you can see, what happened, price violated this setup and then went into the zone and then formed a top. Now you can see this top is characterized by a weak rejection by this candlestick, a weak rejection here, a weak rejection here, and then dropped off. So this is a valid top. Okay. And now we had another price, you see, we have price going back to give us another top characterized by, several about 2 week rejections. Okay. So I would have taken my sell trade short. Okay, I would have taken my sell trade somewhere around here, and then my stop loss would have been, just slightly above the first stop, which is somewhere around 7 to 8 pips. Okay, and then my take profit will still be in the next psychological price level or somewhere around here. Just, maybe some other time I will explain how I find my take profit. Okay, so but let's just assume that this is our take profit, and you can see how price, dropped straight into profit, and then without even, going to supply. So this is actually how I take my trades once price gets into my point of interest. So let us, continue going to other points of interest. Now, if you look at this point of interest, we on the 15 minutes time frame, you can't find any double bottom pattern. We only have weak rejections. Remember, I think I failed to add the third conditions of taking trades, okay, that I actually look out for in taking my trades. Sometimes number one of pattern I look out for is a double top. Number two is a QM pattern, the break of structure and all that. And then the number three is weak rejections. Okay, this constant weak rejections. You see 1 week rejection, two, three, four, is enough for me to take this trade. Okay, so but I still, if you don't want to, if you are not how I don't know, it might take you some time to really understand how to take trades based on weak rejection. So but if you can't find the double top pattern on the 15 minutes time frame, what else can you do? You just go down to the 5 minutes time frame. If you go down to the 5 minutes time frame, within this area you will find a double bottom pattern. So let's go down to the 5 minutes time frame and see what happens here. 5 minutes time frame. All right. Nice one. Okay, so if you see, let's zoom out and you see what happened. You see now on the 5 minutes time frame, you can see clearly we have a double bottom pattern. Okay, now you see this is a valid double bottom pattern because look at the first leg of the double bottom pattern. Price came down, wicked out twice, and then left the area. Then came back to the area where it once wicked out, and then continue wicking out again. So once I see this 1 2 week rejections on an area where price has wicked out previously, then this is actually where I would have taken my buy trade. Okay, so I would have taken a long position somewhere around here. Okay, and then my stop loss will be just slightly below this area, below the bottoms. Okay, so just somewhere around 4 to 5 pips. Okay, and then my take profit will definitely be the next psychological price level, which is somewhere around here. Okay, as you can see, price. So we risk this is around the risk reward ratio here is somewhere around 7.8. Okay, which is great. Okay, so we're risking around 5 pips and then targeting around 40 pips, which is wonderful. Okay, so that is it. If you cannot find the double top pattern on the 15 minutes time frame, move down to the 5 minutes time frame, and then you will definitely see something, or sorry, you will definitely see a reason to actually buy um, this asset. So let's continue. Let's go look at other points of interest on the 15 minutes time frame. What have I done? Sorry. Okay, so that is it. Okay, now we have another point of interest here. Okay, as you can see, we have a nice double top at this area, but price failed to get into my point of interest. So this is actually an issue. Once price fails to get into my point of interest, I don't take that trade, I skip it. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, nice one. Okay, you can see we have price drops into our point of interest. Price gave us a nice first bottom at this area and then crashed and gave us another bottom at this area. As you can see, the bottom is characterized by weak rejections. So we would have taken our trade at this area. Okay, long would have taken our trade somewhere around here. Okay, and so when placing your stop loss, please be guided, be careful. If we had placed our stop loss so close to the bottoms, we would have been taken out. Okay, but 7 pips would have been great, and then we'll still be in the trade until price you see how price appreciated further to even this the next psychological price level. So making this a very great risk reward ratio of about 10.87, so which is great. Okay, so that is it for that. You can see how price. I don't want this video to be so long. Okay, so we can see price got into this area. You see, sometimes you need to train your eyes to be able to see these patterns very clear. We have double bottom here before price crashed. But if you still go down to the 5 minutes time frame, I wouldn't want to start making this video so lengthy. If you go down to the 5 minutes time frame, you will still see a double top at this area and then see how price crashed. Okay, the same thing with this area. We have a double bottom and then price appreciated for that. Okay, and the same thing with this area, you can see the double bottom and price left the zone. This area too, we had the top here, we had the top here, and then price crashed. Though I would not have taken this trade. I wouldn't have taken this trade. Okay, most likely if you had gone to the 5 minutes time frame, maybe around here you would have seen a double top pattern and then you sell, and that is it. Now this is another wonderful trade. We had this top, we have another top here, and then price crashed down. This was the I think this is a GBP interest rate news or so, and you see how price dropped by over 100 pips. I called out this trade. That was last 2 Thursdays or so, or last Thursday or so. Okay, so that is it for that on GPP USD. And so this is something I've been doing for a very long time. I know it has a very wonderful win rate. Okay, you see how price gave us a top here, top, and then crash. Okay, let's see if we have more. We have many of these. We have many. Let me just change this to 1 hour time frame so you can see how far we've been doing this. We've been doing this a very, very long time. Okay, you see this area. Okay, this was actually a failed area. The price failed at this area, this point of interest. But the wins are more than the losses. This is a nice area. If you go down to the 15 minutes time frame, you'll find a double bottom at this area. Okay, sorry, let me okay, now this is a failed area. Price failed to get into this point of interest. The same with this area. Price failed to get. This is actually when the war started. From the 25th of February, the market became very unstable, so I actually stopped trading GBP USD. I stopped trading seriously because you see price always fail to get our areas. So I got fed up and I stopped trading the pair, and I actually started looking out uh, to other assets. Okay, you can see how price got into this area and then dropped. Let's see, you see this area, price got into this area, gave us a double bottom and dropped, double bottom, sorry, double top and dropped, double bottom and dropped. Same thing with this, double top drop, double top drop. This is the same thing here, the same thing here. You can see how price has been respecting our points of interest. So that is actually basically what I do on GBPUS. I wouldn't want to make this video to be very long, else I would have dissected these things, these points of interest, and you will find out that we always have the double top or double bottom pattern before price reverses from either of these points of interest. So this is actually how I trade or react to the market once price gets into my point of interest. So please, I want to advise you guys, please, you just have to be patient, okay? Keep the faith, be patient and apply proper risk management, okay? This is something, it's not a holy grail, but it's something that is very close to a holy grail. But you still need to apply proper risk management whenever a trade is being called out on my channel, whether on YouTube page or on my Telegram channel, okay? Like I said earlier this morning, go big or go home is actually for those that have a place to go back to. You have a home to go back to, then you can go big, okay? For some of us that just that this is all we have. If you go big, you will have and you fail, you have no other place to go back to. You have no place to fall back to. Okay. So instead of going big, why not take short steps, little steps, and then be consistent over time, and you will see that you can make up something huge instead of putting all your eggs in one basket or taking all the risk or going big at a time, and then you end up going home. That is if you have a home to go back to. So that is it, guys. I strongly believe that you must have learned a thing or two from this video. Thank you all for your time. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you like the kind of content that I put out. Thank you guys for your time. I truly appreciate.